Good so far.
All right, good. All right, we're going to talk about modules and kind of how do we make sure our students are only seeing what it is we want them to see, right? We don't want them necessarily to just go right into our courses and look at all of our files. So in a course that I have with modules, and I just want to show you kind of what that looks like. So this is my 451 course, and in this course it's set up by week. So how do you guys normally teach? Do you teach by like a unit, or do you teach like a week structure, or whatever happens? Okay, all right. Having this course is
yes, but they are often grouped.
Okay.
Organically.
It could be
By topic.
or week, depending
Or
on
week.
the instructor.
Okay, all right. So either way, all right. So whatever it is by topic, or if you do it by week, that's really what I'm talking about. Is how do we group like content together, and that like content would go into a module. So in this course is set up by weeks. So everything that is due in the first week is in a module. And so within the module, you know, I have it broken out by day too for my students. Within the module, they can see everything that's attached to Monday. This is a page. We're going to talk about pages. Pages is just delivering content. Okay, the students might need to look at it. They might need to read it. I might have files linked in there that I want them to see. And the next two, we have a discussion and we have an assignment. So in the modular structure in Canvas, we're grouping like content together. So in my course, my students can't come in and click on assignments and look at every assignment in my course. All right. Instead, I've laid out a structure for them and a flow for how I want them to view it. So if you guys click on your modules in your course, it's gray right now because you don't have any. It's more than halfway down the page. And you come to a page like this. It's not? Okay.
Oh, in Rutgers, it's at the top, and it's near the top and bold.
Oh, okay. So you already have reordered it?
Styled, yeah.
Okay, great.
Bold.
All right. So yours will be a different place. But when you come to the modules page, you can click on the plus module button, and this is where you add a new module. So we're going to just practice, and we're in Sandbox. So I want you to add a module, something that you teach. And it could be a unit. You could call it just Unit 1 if you want.
And we can have pages under this module.
You can, yes. All right, and then click Add Module. Okay, so you're good. That's all I need to do. All right. And then let's add a second one. We're going to put 2 modules in here. So put in another topic. Once you have your modules built, you're going to be able to then put everything that's related to that topic underneath of it. So if I'm looking at my first module up here, and you see it's not published right now, how do I know it's not published? Yeah, the cloud is gray and it's got an S, all right? To publish something, all you have to do, anytime you see those clouds, is just click it. Once you do that, it goes green. And then that's going to be available for students, okay? So if you ever have students who say to you, it's broken, and there's nothing there, it's usually because we forgot to publish, okay? Now, if we click on the plus button, we see a drop-down list of everything we can add to this module. And it's going to default to assignment first. But here are all the other pieces of course content that I can add into this module. Now, do you guys see an assignment already populated in there? Do you see that assignment we made from the calendar? So you're able to click on that assignment, and then you can just go ahead and add that right into your module. So find that assignment that you made earlier, and we're going to add that to your module. I didn't do that in this course. I'm going to make a new one. So here are all the things we can put inside of modules. We can put in quizzes and files. We can add pages where it's just content. This is where we can put discussions. You can add a text header to break up your modules. So that's just going to be text, like I had in my Fahrenheit course. I had a text header for Monday, and I had one for Tuesday, and I had one for Wednesday. You can link to an external URL, or you can send students to an external tool. If there's somewhere else that you have them submit assignments, you could link to that. So those are all of the things that you can put inside of your modules. We have a gear here, and I'm able to do more things with it. So I want to show you this. I am able to say to Canvas, I want you to lock this module until a certain date. So if you have pieces of the course that are ready to go and built out, but you don't want it to be available till students yet, you can say, I want to lock it, until this date. Or, not yet. Right. Not yet. Okay, the other thing I can do is I can say, for this module, I have these requirements. So, if you want to force a path for your students, that they have to do specific things before they can move on in your course, here's where you do it. You can say, students have to complete all of these requirements that I have below. So maybe on this test assignment, they have to submit it. You see my other options. I can have it set so they just have to view it, mark it as done, or score at least. I will tell you to be careful with the score at least. It sounds like a really great idea, especially for quizzes, right? And when I first taught in Canvas, I put requirements on everything, and I used score at least all the time because I thought, this is important content, and this quiz, they should score at least an 80% before they can move on. And then I got constant communication from my students. Miss Keefe, I messed up and I got a 70, and I'm really sorry, but can you please remove that requirement for me? So just, this is great, the score at least, but just, keep in mind that it will prevent the students from moving on. So you do have those options for requirements in the course and how they move through your modules. For every module after your very first one, you can also add prerequisites so that students can't access this module until they do the module before it. Okay, so I can say, this second module will open for them after they've completed what I said they need to do in the first one. So you can make sure that students aren't just, Wild West random clicking through your courses, and that they're doing it in the way that you've laid it out. Because you've put a lot of thought into what you want this course to look like and what comes before the next piece, and you want to make sure that they're actually moving through it the way you've designed it. So that's how you would handle that with modules. The other thing that we touched on was, how do we make it so that our students can't see all of the pieces, everything that's in this left-hand navigation right here. There's a lot of things in here. So right now, the way my course is set, once it's published, my students could come right in and they could click on anything that I've got in there and go right to it. So they could come into my course and click quizzes and access all the quizzes in my course that are currently published. Okay? I don't think that that's a really good idea. So how we do that is we go to course settings, and I'll show you how you can customize it so that students are only able to see the pieces that you want them to see in their navigation. So I clicked on settings, and then I got these tabs up here. So we're going to click on the navigation tab. Here are all the things that right now we can reorder, and any ones that we either disable, or you can grab it and drag it underneath here to where it says drag items here to hide them from students, will no longer show for students in their navigation. So if you wanted to say, I will tell you what I normally do. Okay, so for assignments, discussions, and quizzes, as well as pages, those are all pieces that I put in modules. So I don't have that in my navigation so that my students can just go right and look at all the pages I have or all the assignments I have. Instead, I disable all of those. I disable assignments. I disable discussions. I disable pages. Here's the big one, files, right? If you don't want your students to just click on files and be able to see every file you've uploaded for your course that's currently published, then that one you would disable. We talked about syllabus. If you're going to use syllabus in the way that Canvas builds it for you, then you would leave that one enabled. If syllabus is not something that you're going to use and you're going to give them a different version of syllabus, then you could disable that one. And then you would decide, are you using outcomes in your course? If you're not, you can disable that. I disable most of these things, to be honest with you. And really what I just end up with are home announcements. Modules is huge, okay, because modules is how we're going to let students get to all these pieces that we just disabled. You probably will use conferences and collaborations. If you want students to see grades, you probably do. And then you can decide if you want them to be able to see the other people in your course. So that's how you reconfigure what it is you want your students to see. You can change it at any time, okay? But we do suggest that you do have that modular structure in your course where you're putting all those important content pieces kind of in units of study. And then we're going to disable all of those pieces so that the students are going to see the content in the way we presented it. Chris?
Can I add one point?
Sure.
So you'll notice Media Gallery, My Media, your course navigation, that's actually Council Road. Just FYI. So
Where's that?
So they have a navigation button that says My Media? Okay.
Oh, okay. I was looking up.
So one of you, I don't have
Out
it.
there on,
Yeah.
on,
I
your,
know.
on your screen.
Yeah.
Red one.
I touched it.
So of course it is.
So you guys have one that's called My Media, and it's Caltech. I don't have that.
And Media Gallery.
And Media Gallery.
For Rutgers, remember it's the coded version. And not the RBS.
Oh, I said that's up to you. It's up to so
You shouldn't use Council Road.
I can use this.
You're pretty much sharing that. So, good mistake.
And then once you have it the way, they're like, all right, these are the pieces I'm going to disable from students. I'm going to have them get there another way. You can then, you can reconfigure these too in the order you want. So you have the ability to say, all right, modules is most important. I'm going to have that at the top. I'm going to put grades at the bottom. So you're able to just click on those and drag them to make the navigation be what it is you want them to be.
And then what are you doing? Time reducing the discussions, the assignments, and the quizzes, the assignment?
They're under my they're in my modules. So instead of having this be a navigational item where they could just come in and click on quizzes and see all the quizzes for the course, yeah. So they're going to be able to get to it from the module. Yeah. Now this page doesn't autosave, so make sure that once you have it kind of how you want it to be, you click that save button. Yes, you can. You don't have to have them published.
Right.
Yeah.
We're getting it.
Yep. You guys are. You're getting it.
Yeah, if you don't want them to see, I don't just mean files and navigation, but you don't want them to have access to your instructor files at all.
Mhm. Don't publish them.
Just don't publish the files.
Yep. Or you could click on it and put restricted access. So you have those two options. So you can still live in your course, not be published.
You can restrict by role and page.
Yes.
Wait a minute. What I mean is, you can see it in line when it's time, but they're not able to go into the files area. That's what I mean by my question.
That is true. Yes.
So I want them to be able to, if I say restrict or no in files, does that mean in modules, where on the content page?
I thought you were saying you wanted there to be instructor files that students never saw. If that's the case,
Yeah, I don't want them to be able to go to, I don't want them to get to the files
Right.
area, but I want them to see it.
when you want them to see it. Yes.
So how do you do that?
So because I moved it out of the navigation, now I can release it by putting it into a module.
Into the module, but they'll never get to the.
Nope, they will never see that file space, ever. Never. If you leave it activated, if you left it up here in course navigation, they could totally see it. So, yeah, be careful with that. Yep.
These for student request templates, which we have files in automatic.
You do, it's a default.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Alright. Go ahead, Steve.
Chris, are you going to leave export course so that people can export their course? Yes. Thank you. Okay. You just made Michael less very happy. Yes.
Alright. Any questions about this, about navigation and modules and how the two things work together? It's the way that we can make sure students are only seeing what we want them to see. And not doing things that sounded horrible like what Richard was explaining, like students were deleting files or, all kinds of that fun stuff. They still couldn't delete your files, but, this way they can't see it unless you want them to see it.
Yeah.
While we're on this page, while we're on this settings page, we just set up our navigation the way we want our course to look. And you're seeing there's a lot of stuff you can do here. Alright, so Steve was asking about exporting and importing course, and we'll get to all that awesome stuff too. Go ahead and click on that student view button. If you ever are working and you want to see what it looks like to a student,
Oh, hallelujah.
this is how you'll get there. Now, right now, you can't see anything really, because we don't have a lot of stuff in there, and we probably didn't publish it. But that student view button is how you can see exactly how your course is going to appear to students. You can take any action that a student can take while you are working in student view, including submitting assignments. All right, so why would you want to do that? I do it a lot because I want to see what it looks and feels like to the student, and then I also want to practice grading it. Okay, because now once you do that and it comes in, we've enrolled test student in your grade book. So you have test student in your grade book, you'll be able to see what the grade book looks like now.
How did you get there again?
I was on the settings page. Yep.
It's too bad, okay, that was a better idea for, let's put that button on every single.
On every page, it would be awesome if it was on every page. It's on the settings page, and it's the second one from the top, student view. And while you're working in student view, it puts a big pink box around it to remind us, but even when that happens, I forget. And then at any time, you can reset the student. So if you were in there working as a student, submitting a lot of work, and you want to clear that all out, just click that reset student button. It'll go away. So right now, here are all the things I can see as a student, not a lot.
To get out of it, you click leave student view.
Leave student
not
view.
reset.
Right. Reset's just going to clear out anything you did while you were in there.
I noticed that a lot of campuses are URL-based, so in Richard's comment about having student view on every page, you could really take the slash after the course number and put student view.
And it would show up?
View, and it will show up on the page. URL hacks.
That's awesome. I never even thought of that, but you're right. Great.
After the number,
Slash at the end. Try it.
student view,
Slash student view.
Oh, I lied.
it didn't work.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that doesn't do it. Don't do that. That won't work. All right. So now, if you're out of student view and you click on grades, you're going to be able to see what your gradebook looks like right now. It doesn't look like a whole lot, okay? But as we build things, things are going to be added into our gradebook, and you'll now be able to access it since you clicked on Student View in your course.
You can't modify a text editor, can you? To make it bigger, bolder, bigger.
No. Text header, no. Alright, so here's why Canvas is good, because it is accessible, right? And that's important. But it is good. You are going to run up against those things like, I can't change this text header. All I can do is add, you can add Unicode symbols. That's about as fancy as you can get for text headers. And that's so it's screen reader. But here's the good part. So these are text headers within my module, like for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. These work excellently for students who are working on mobile. It's going to give them really nice anchors for where they should be working. They show up great for students who are working on mobile.
Where'd you get your little umbrella
Yeah.
and your little camera?
Those are Unicode symbols, so. So just go to anywhere where there's a Unicode character table, and you just copy the image. I'm used to working on the Mac, so I've been doing this right. So this is for a text header. So like I said, the only cool thing you can do in a text header is really put in those Unicode symbols. So you can just paste those. I just copied that part and I'm pasting it in. That's about the extent of getting fancy in Canvas. All right, that's about as pretty as Canvas is going to get, but for a good reason. All right. All right. Let's click on settings again. We talked a little bit earlier about adding LTIs, adding those learning tool integrations, and Steve asked for YouTube and Chris delivered, so now you all should have YouTube in your accounts. But you can get more, and where you get it is settings, and the fourth tab over is apps. So if you click on that, these are all the external apps that integrate with Canvas, and it's going to take a little bit to load because there are a lot. Okay, yeah. Yep. I told you, don't feel bad. I always forget to leave Student View. And of course, click on Settings, and then click on Apps. So if you scroll through, you're going to see probably some names that you recognize and some things that you've probably never heard of before, but that's okay. But here is where YouTube lives, and Chris was able to add it at the account level, so now everybody has access to it.
So the rule is, if Pollit is a license holder of a third-party or external tool integrated into Canvas, if your own institution or a faculty member has their own license, like Steve has adopted with Sky, you can do it at his, well, it will be the sub-account level, or it could be the course level. That's basically, so we have it, we'll use it for everyone, or provide it to everyone. If you have it at your own school and you want it for your own faculty, you can do that too.
So what that does is before, when I embedded that YouTube video, so what it's going to do for any of these integrations is give you a tool in your rich content editor, and then you'll be able to just embed it from there. Not all of these are free. Okay, a good deal of them are, but not all of them are free.
How do we find that?
I'm going to show you next how you guys always ask the right question right when I'm going there. So, see this link here that says see some LTI tools that work great with Canvas. Go ahead and click on it. I'm going to open it in a new tab because I don't want to lose where I am. This is called the Edu App Center. And right now there are 228 apps that can integrate with Canvas. Last week there were 227. 2 weeks ago there were 217. So these companies have all built an LTI integration. They've said to Canvas, we want to integrate with you. They build it. Canvas paid them $1,000. It's really not a lot of money, but they all will integrate with Canvas. Here's where you can search. You can search by category. You can search for things that are just completely free by filtering it, and it'll show you everything that's free and all the things you could add. So, like, you could add USA Today or Wikipedia for free.
Did you do?
Yep, show again. I was on all categories and I went here to completely free. So on this page, on the Edu App Center, it tells you what they do, right? So if you go over here and you're like, oh, all right, I think I would like to add TED Ed in Canvas. So then on this app page, I just switch back to the app page, and now I'm going to search for TED Ed. There it is. So if I click on TED Ed, and I click on Add App, all right, I know this one's free because it didn't ask me for anything else. If you ever get to this point and it asks you for a secret code or a shared secret,
VoiceThread did.
Yeah.
Isn't that free?
We have it available in our listeners.
yeah. So what that is like if you buy it and you have it, it's going to ask you for the shared secret. Chris or Priscilla or somebody can get you what that is, and then they'll.
It's already in our system.
Oh, it's already there.
One, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So if this one here, so TED Ed is free, I don't need any other extras, I'm just going to click on Add App. Now the next time I go in to build something and I bring up my rich content editor, I'm going to be able to search for TED Ed videos and embed them right into my lesson that I'm creating. So I'm going to let you play with this. I'm going to let you play around on Ed App Center, see if there's things that you might want to add to your instance, okay? And then if you find one that you think you might want to add, when you're working in Canvas, you just look for it under external apps. It should bring it up for you, and then you can add it in. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to play around with that.